just want to have a quick little chat as I paint some really loose watercolor pumpkins in my sketchbook. I decided to look up what is the sketchbook definition, and one of the dictionaries I found online says it is a pad or book of drawing paper for sketching on, a book of drawings or literary sketches. Then I thought, okay, well, what's an art journal? It is a visual diary that combines creative expression through art with written thoughts, feelings, or memories, according to AI. Okay, so what the heck am I doing? Do I have a sketchbook or an art journal? Well, I certainly don't write down my thoughts and feelings in my sketchbook. I'm going to call it a sketchbook for the time being. However, I suppose some pages are filled with memories when I am painting my surroundings plein air or from my own reference photos, but I'm not treating it as an outlet for my feelings per se. I recently heard some things, read some things, watched some things, and I see a lot of opinions. And, some people think sketchbooks are just for sketches or studies. Something they will use as a tool to sketch their ideas, try their ideas, fine-tune their ideas, to then paint later in a more serious and final manner. Some people think sketchbooks are for ugly art because they aren't serious. The real art happens later on canvas. Well, I think a sketchbook is whatever you want it to be, whatever you need it to be. I'm so sick of all the judgment. Life is difficult enough. We don't need all of the snobbery. Art is supposed to be fun. Art's supposed to be fun. Don't let social media tell you that your sketchbook has to be full of gorgeous art or that it can only be rough, unfinished ideas. It can be whatever you need it to be at that specific time in your life. It can be where you are scribbling things to maybe paint later. It can be where you want to sit for 4 hours and paint something beautiful to never be painted again. It can be where you are just making marks and then writing in it like a diary. It can be all of that and still be called a sketchbook. If you have a sketchbook full of ugly art, great. If you have sketchbooks full of ideas of paintings that have yet to be turned into something truly tangible, awesome. If you have a sketchbook full of beautiful finished art pieces that will never be painted again, wonderful. If you have a journal full of thoughts and ideas and your innermost feelings surrounded by paint and color and marks, then that is fantastic. For me, my sketchbooks are full of all of that. What they represent for me is a slice in time. These pages of art represent what I was working on, enjoying, for just a teeny tiny portion of my life. I love pulling a sketchbook off the shelf and flipping through it. I love seeing how my painting style has changed and what I was doing at the time. I enjoy using it as a tool to maybe figure out what I want to paint for my Christmas cards. But I also really like just sitting and painting it for hours to see if I can make something that I love. It might be silly. I hope in 30 years, when I'm kind of old, I can pull a sketchbook off the shelf and remember this sliver in time, my life. It might be silly to think that maybe one day my niece or nephew will decide to keep one of my sketchbooks and display it on their bookshelf in their home. Maybe they'll pull it down and look through it a couple times, smile and think of me and say, Aunt Karen sure loved painting. So some days I paint something that I think is really cool in my sketchbook. And some days I just want to play with color and paint cute, simple pumpkins. And there's nothing wrong with that. Let me know in the comments, do you have a sketchbook or an art journal or an art book or a book full of crap? Whatever it is, I hope you love it, because that's the point, isn't it? Isn't that just the point to this? Finding a simple joy in a life that might be otherwise kind of difficult for some people. You have to find the joys when you can. Thank you so much for joining me, and have a great day. Bye-bye.